Collate.
Collate.
Does it collate?
I live to collate, sir.
Good. I'd like you to collate these 1-minute spots prior to broadcast.
Okay, now I gotta collate that.
校对。
Collateral. Collateral.
Collateral. I really think one human being will be collateral enough.
She's collateral damage.
There is no collateral.
Without collateral.
并行的旁系亲属。
Colleague. Colleague.
Annie is the colleague who told me about you.
I want to introduce you to a new colleague.
Please convey my deepest apologies to your colleague out there.
Oh, well, he's a good colleague.
You mind if my female colleague there checks out your junk, do you?
同事。
Collect. Collect.
And I'm here to collect from you.
Thanks to Captain Beasley, I had to wire my boss collect for bus fare back.
We burn the house to the ground and collect the insurance.
When I go to the MP to collect the T-shirts to distribute, I'm going to remember to ask about your visa.
收集由收到者付款的，由收到者付款的。
Collectible. Collectible.
And for Tamatoa, trust me, my hook is the coolest collectible.
He's my favorite collectible.
It's a collectible.
It's an American collectible classic.
You know, this turned into a real collectible because someone noticed that one of the clouds behind Monterey Jack looked exactly like Oprah.
可收集的。
Collection. Collection.
It's just that I'm not exactly the point person for this collection.
It's my personal collection of erotica.
My collection.
Now, I had this horse figurine collection.
收集。
Collective. Collective.
Everyone sacrifices for the sake of the collective.
It will contain a record of all the instructions this Borg has been receiving from the collective.
Perhaps it is an unwitting nest to lose the collective memory of the once beautiful hills that surround the lake.
They want to imprint you with their own collective memories.
Yeah, it's our collective asses he's gonna kid.
集体的。
Collector. Collector.
Collector.
Are you a collector?
I'm a collector, and there's a prosthetic hand for auction on buythistreasure.com.
If it's with the collector, then it's not safe.
Not to imply it's more important than, say, a baker or a toll collector.
收集家。
College. College.
Because once this baby's born, you ain't going out again till that baby's in college.
Me. I waitressed my ass off so that you could go to college and drink yourself sick.
I work here to pay back the loan that I took out for college so that I wouldn't have to work in a place like this.
Mom can't work and take care of you, and then how will I pay for college, huh?
Or what if my bliss is something I don't even need college for?
学院。
Collegial. Collegial.
After his mother terminated the treatment, Louis sent me a personal letter. In the spirit of collegial.
Collegial. Dr. Campion is from the Geffen School at UCLA, and we're colleagues. And this is strictly collegial.
In the interest of keeping that collegial spirit, I say that we all get cleaned up.
It's not very collegial.
学校的。
Collegiate. Collegiate.
Friendly, collegiate fun.
I am not cut out for this collegiate crap.
I'm the winner. I hit the books hard at the collegiate.
It's very collegiate.
学院的。
Collide. Collide.
An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes, and they collide.
Backwards and forwards and so on and so forth until the two bikes collide and poor little fly is squashed.
But this is where our worlds collide.
We belong together! Till the mountains fall into the sea, till the heavens collide!
Our ship uses the same technology, and if we can make the two drives collide with one another...
碰撞。
Collie. Collie.
Beats me how any fight could last so long with a collie in it.
Collie, sir.
Don't get your balls in an uproar, collie.
Half border collie.
I know about you, collie.
颗粒牧羊狗。
Collision. Collision.
Imminent collision detected.
Ronda Rousey said that she felt like Charlotte and her were on a collision course.
Someone informs you that
This company installs front seat mounting brackets that never pass collision tests.
What a collision!
You know goddamn well your collision policy and general liability umbrella will cover the damages.
碰撞
Colloquial.
Colloquial.
Broad to me is just another colloquial term for woman.
Colloquial English will do fine, thank you.
Okay, in a colloquial kind of way.
You can get as colloquial as you like.
绘画的
Colloquialism.
Colloquialism.
A bug is a colloquialism.
And I call that horse shit, to use a cowboy colloquialism.
It's a colloquialism I prefer not to use.
It's 16th century colloquialism, meaning roughly good.
口语
Colloquium.
Colloquium.
Come to the colloquium. In a few days, there's going to be this international colloquium.
In a few days, there's this thing called the Island Colloquium, run by a man called Sterling Rogers.
That's why I have the colloquium.
讨论会
Collusion.
Collusion.
I do have to ask you about the allegations about collusion in regards to
I think Mr. Krendler is in collusion with him and wants the FBI's efforts against Dr. Lecter to work for Mr. Verger.
If you got the study from the same source, that would amount to collusion.
My entire life, I fought to keep the American labor movement clear of any collusion.
共谋
Cologne.
Cologne.
Cologne, mouthwash, underarm deodorant.
Desperation is a stinky cologne, John.
He's the ambassador's liaison, a high-ranking party member from Cologne.
The cologne.
Is Cologne on the pillow?
科隆
Colon.
Colon.
I had a client get colon cancer and die before he and his wife came to agreement.
Jews and colon cancer.
Smells like you wouldn't know a colon cleanse if it ran right through your cute little rectum.
They got to replace her colon with a semicolon. And my Aunt Josephine had colon cancer.
冒号
Colonel.
Colonel.
Colonel Fiera was my valet at the academy.
Hello, Colonel.
I like it even more on you than I did on Colonel Sanders.
Looks like Colonel Bastard's upstairs in Eli's bedroom with the candlestick. What do you admire most in a woman, Colonel?
陆军上校
Colonial.
Colonial.
I thought all our colonial scouts were in the militia.
Meet your fellow passengers, take skill building classes, and learn about colonial living.
4th of July, a little present from the colonial.
These colonial marines are very tough hombres.
You've got feds and Interstellar Commerce Commission, Colonial Administration, insurance company guys.
殖民的
Colonialism.
Colonialism.
Capitalism of liberal democracies through their surpluses from colonialism or imperialism raised the living standards of most of their populace.
I think that as black people in America strive to throw off the shackles of mental colonialism, they will also reflect their desire to
Tell them about Coca-Cola colonialism.
The manipulation of third world countries is simply another form of colonialism.
The Wolfgar Command has just struck a blow against British colonialism.
殖民主义
Colonist.
Colonist.
And you know, syndication is everything for a columnist.
Every colonist had one surgically implanted.
9 years a colonist.
one for each colonist. That's over 100 at least.
Take that, Mr. Colonist!
殖民的居民
Colonize.
Colonize.
By the alien race when it comes to colonize the planet, using us as hosts.
I think my husband is always trying to almost colonize me, you know?
To colonize Mars, you need people with a strong will, mind, and body.
Yes, but I colonize you too, darling.
开拓殖民的殖民于
Colony.
Colony.
For the colony!
Oh, do you mean like when I stroke my nipples and feels like a colony events machine?
So this isn't just a colony.
The world's biggest leper colony. Why?
There's a whole colony of people there who didn't get sick.
殖民的
Color.
Color.
I don't understand why you're completely disregarding your signature color.
I suggest an unflattering style in a hideous color.
We gotta cut and color my hair.
Well, I'm thinking that I want to brighten the place up. So, what's a happy color?
You mean the woman of color you sent in to hide your crime?
颜色，把涂上颜色，变色。
Colorful.
Colorful.
Goes by the colourful moniker, Pony Boy.
I don't care how colorful he is, how great he is. He could beat all...
I mean, your life is so colorful by comparison.
She's a colourful girl. She's got some interesting stories.
So wear something colourful.
华美的。
Colorless.
Colorless.
And all the guys you handpicked for me, they were dull, colorless, boring guys.
Thus takes great market advantage that it is tasteless, colorless, and does not precipitate.
Colorless, humorless, uncompromising.
Colorless, odorless, tasteless.
无色的。
Colossal.
Colossal.
And built him a colossal palace entirely out of chocolate.
Killed 3 men in Del Rio Motel yesterday and 2 others in that colossal goat fuck out in the desert.
One night in Louisville, 5 years ago, Gatsby found himself at Daisy's house by colossal accident.
You were on a colossal ego trip. We must curtail.
Your ego is absolutely colossal.
巨大的。
Colossus.
Colossus.
Colossus testing.
On any of its information supply or power lines, Colossus will switch in emergency circuits which will then take the appropriate action.
Stand at the foot of the Colossus.
Thank you, Colossus.
The Colossus of clout.
具象。
Color.
Color.
And that bikini in my color will get you everywhere.
I also like leg warmers, sweatbands, and the color pink.
No matter what color he was a bully. Sorry if I got some of the details wrong, but you didn't tell me what color the van was, so...
The feathers for aerodynamics, the sparkly color to dazzle the enemy, the boots, truly decorative.
颜色，把涂上颜色，变色。
Cold.
Cold.
I want everybody to know that the gun that shot Buford Cannon was a Colt Peacemaker.
My name's Colt Boyd.
Of course I know about Colt, Wilson.
This morning I went out to tend to my colt.
Walker Colt blew up in his hand, which was a failing common to that model.
小马。
Column.
Column.
I write the commitments column for the journal.
If you look at column 4, this was the first.
Lacerated spinal column, cracked sternum, shattered collarbone, perforated liver, one hell of a headache.
Miss Phelan, it's a cleaning advice column.
What's the picture they run by the column?
专栏。
Columnist.
Columnist.
I know you don't want to hear it, but you're a really good columnist.
I never saw myself as a columnist. I'm a columnist, a good one. And
I'm a gossip columnist, not the DA.
San Francisco Chronicle columnist Armistead Maupin says that
专栏作家。
Coma.
Coma.
Guy's in a coma, and we're keeping vigil like 18 hours a day.
The prescription was dated, Carlos, and Juanita was in a coma when this claim was filed.
They're putting me in a coma. Wait, before I lose you to another shoe coma, there's something I want to talk to you about.
With Rodell having slipped into a coma after the fight, and Garson uncovering my mom's affair with him, suddenly that gas gauge theory went from circumstantial to airtight.
昏迷。
Comatose.
Comatose.
And if banking was boring, then the bond department at the bank was straight up comatose.
Days get shorter and shorter, nights longer and longer. Before you know it, your life is just one long night with a few comatose daylight hours.
Especially a woman who wasn't comatose or severely disabled.
Not comatose.
She looks comatose.
昏睡的。
Comb.
Comb.
And yet, even as U.S. Navy ships comb the Mediterranean in search of the warhead, so do Russian submarines.
I want you to go back over your work with a fine-tooth comb and make sure it's airtight.
Inspect every inch of my bod with a fine-tooth comb.
Okay, you've got to comb your hair. Work with a fine-tooth comb.
头梳，梳头发，涌起。
Combat.
Combat.
In these troubled times, travel can be just as perilous as combat, sweetheart.
Combat training.
Last time I was in combat, I was hit.
Was married in ritual combat.
You will be called upon to engage in one-on-one combat.
争斗、战斗与战斗。
Combatant.
Combatant.
Combatant commands are now at DEFCON 1.
Dubois will be granted a chance to prove if he is a worthy combatant in the first round.
Hatakikomi is a movement the smaller combatant uses to throw the larger man off balance.
Not everyone is a combatant.
Superman acted like some rogue combatant to rescue her, and people died.
争斗者。
Combination.
Combination.
I am a rare combination.
I need the combination to the safe. No combination needed.
Why is that combination so cute?
组合。
Combine.
Combine.
But combine one flavor with another, and something new was created.
He was attempting to combine some kind of sorcery and scientific formula.
The boy needs to get to the combine.
Well, sir, perhaps I could combine them to be a sort of fighting naturalist, like you, sir.
联合。
Combustible.
Combustible.
High Priestess, the batteries, they are exceptionally combustible and...
I guess I'm not the combustible type.
It's a combustible relationship, isn't it?
That canister contains an extremely combustible substance called antimatter.
They're a cold, hard fact, and part of the foundation of the table to stop its more combustible members from outright war.
易燃的，易燃物。
Combustion.
Combustion.
Almost finished with the potential disasters. Worst scenario is either quicksand, spontaneous combustion, or getting called on by the teacher.
I've seen every form of combustion known to man.
It was like striking oil in a world that hadn't invented internal combustion.
Last year, I built an internal combustion engine and entered it in the science fair.
She's scheduled for combustion.
燃烧。
Come.
Come.
Barbie, come with me.
Come see me anytime, okay?
I'm supposed to see my mum tomorrow, but I'm dropping tonight, so there is no way I can deal with her on a come-down.
I've read this tale, there's wedding then betrayal. I know that come the day I want to run and hide.
Now, some of the girls like to come here to rest up after the operation.
过来，喂。
Come back.
Come back.
Heroin addicts searching for a comeback at any price.
Hey, look, man, he was comeback player of the year.
In a land that's downtrodden, Braddock's comeback is giving hope to every American.
My boy, you performed that comeback special on a tiny square inside the studio, and the fans loved it.
What, no philosophical comeback for me?
复原。
Comedian.
Comedian.
But if the show starts at 8, show up at 8:15 after that comedian is done.
Roberto, the club promoter, Chad, the skateboarder, and Bob, the stand-up comedian.
So are you a famous comedian too?
Well, it ruins it for me if you have grass because, you know, I'm like a comedian.
Who invited the stand-up comedian over here?
喜剧演员。
Come down.
Come down.
A bumpy come-down cut like this.
And will you keep shut about the peaky come-down crap?
Hey, when the come down outweighs the good times, you know the party's over, man.
The roadhouse, rather a come down, isn't it?
衰落。
Comedy.
Comedy.
Comedy gives us all the same laugh.
It's a comedy, Darlene.
Sure, it was a comedy about golf. The Caddyshack was personal.
We had tickets to see this comedy show, so I decided to go by myself.
You're supposed to be home with your feet up and the comedy's on.
喜剧。
Comeliness.
Comeliness.
清秀。